was a shadow in the government's game. Born as a child with no face and no name. They stole my past to leave me cold and alone. Always searching for a place that could go home. I was lost in the dark, just a tool in the hand, till she pulled me close and helped me understand. Now the fire inside is starting to rise. I can see the truth through 1,000 lies. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's the magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hellhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. In the dead of the night, I can hear the call. All the ghosts of my past scratching through the wall. My eyes change colors, the power has grown. With Crowley the hound, I'm never alone. I used to be hollow, a man made of glass, but now I am reclaiming every year that has passed. Every memory is falling right back into place. I know every name and I remember every face. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's a magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hellhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. I ain't running no more, yeah, I'm ready to fight. Gonna settle that debt in the depth of the night. They tried to break me, they tried to erase, but they can't hide the blood from the scars on my face. The veil is thin and the engine is hot. I'm taking back everything that they thought I forgot. Now I tear through the veil, leave holes in the sky. I can read every thought in the blink of an eye. Danica, my witch, she's the magic in me. Yeah, I finally found what they took from me. With a hellhound beside me, I'm standing my ground. No longer a ghost that's never been found. I remember it all now. Every single face, I'm calling for you in the dead of the night.
Hello, everybody. My name's Henry. By now you should know it, but for the new ones coming in, my name is Henry. I wasn't like the rest of you. I wasn't born in a womb. I was born in a test tube. I went through a lot of different things, and as if you've been listening to my videos, you should be known what's been going on with me. And well, in any case, they decided now that I was old enough, they was going to start training me for what was to come later. I already had getting my powers, so to speak, my gifts, my curse, whatever you want to call it. A lot of times I called it a curse, and sometimes it is. But there have been times it's saved my behind. So it could go either way, just according to how the deck shuffled. I learned to hone my skills, and of course in the projects they was pushing me for more and more, and I delivered as much as I could, performed as much as I could. On the few times that things went a little wrong, either people got hurt or I got hurt. Not by my own self, but by not obeying. You know, it's kind of like some days you go to work and you just breeze right through it. And there's other days you're just not up to par. Well, sometimes I'd have those days, and I'd pay for it dearly. They'd take me for a torture trip, sometimes to the water chamber, where they'd proceed to dunk me a few times, hold me underwater. Or sometimes they'd pump a little electricity to me and wait for me to recuperate a little bit and do it again. It could vary, the punishments would vary in the torture as to what had happened. But you got to remember this. I know it sounds cruel, and it is, but fear and pain are damn good motivators. I can tell you that from a fact, and from what all I went through. They will motivate you real quick on days that you don't feel like being motivated. It will motivate you. You always want to remember those two things. In my case, I didn't have a choice. So I honed my skills. They decided to add a little more to that. Because unbeknownst to me at the time, they was trying to make me into a super soldier, in which eventually I fully became that. But they started training me in, slowly at first, in different combat situations, hand to hand. Anything in the room is a weapon. But of course, you know, with these gifts I have, I learned to manipulate things in the room. Bookshelves, a book, a pencil, chairs, tables, light bulbs, even computers at times. I can manipulate all that stuff and more. Sometimes they'd take me into a room that was usually about like a 20 by 30, 20 foot wide, 30 foot long, and 10 foot ceilings. And they'd have all this different stuff sitting around. And let me tell you something. Their bedside manner and their teaching was about the same. Their bedside manner was roll you up in a frickin' mattress and kick your ass out in the hallway because there wasn't no windows to throw you out of, otherwise they'd have done that to me. So they'd take me into these rooms where there'd be different objects, like what you would find in somebody's office and house. Chairs, tables, books, knickknacks. And when they'd open the door, excuse me, when they'd open the door, these people would come after me and beat the shit out of me. Remember when I said pain's a motivator? Fear's a hell of a motivator. Sometimes people got hurt. Got bookshelves turned over on them, threw at them without me touching them, just by me doing it with here. Of course, they tried to take precautions, you know, they had on protective gear, but still, you get hit with a bookshelf or even a chair that's going through the air, it'll still pummel you a good one. And yeah, sometimes people got hurt. But I always got hurt first. That's the way they motivate me, see? Eventually they took it steps further. They put that damn leather helmet thing on my head that covered my eyes and pushed me into a room, let them work me over a little bit, tenderize me, so to speak. Then I get the hood off because my hands were freed. And shit would happen. I blew through those. I mean, I excelled. So then they decided on down the line a little bit that just in case I was sent in someplace and just say you run out of ammunition, well, you got to improvise. So I learned how to take things and create things in order to get me out of a jam to finish the project, the job. I excelled in that too. I caught on that real fast. They told me, said, if you ever get into a jam and you don't know these things, that you can take this and this and this, make you a weapon, you're screwed. We got a lot of time and money invested in you. We don't want that to happen, so we're going to make sure you're trained top notch. Now, I was still just a kid. But this is how they beat it into your head, see? Repetition. Do, and learn, and remember. Never lose that stuff. Sometimes they'd let me lay down and they'd put the headphones on me or they played on the overhead. And I'd learn like that too, because that was the easiest way for me to learn. But the other ways work too, but in any case, they used all of the above, and even some things I'd never heard of, but I excelled in it. Now, during all these phases, any and every style of fighting over the years I had to learn and master it. That way, no matter if I went up against this person, I'd at least have the knowledge on what to expect from this person. I excelled in that too. But I was also told at the same time, don't take what you're learning here and take it and play with it in the outside world. It's only in a life or death situation. And my parents made sure when I got home, they would threaten me and make me stay on the right track with that, so nobody got hurt and didn't draw attention. I mean, people was already noticing weird shit about me, but in any case, that's how it went. You know, they taught me to be able to just walk in someplace. Everything I need is in every household. Can't go too much into it because I don't want YouTube to slap me on the ass for it. So I got to be kind of a little bit vague, but you can kind of read between the lines. Well, you got to remember, I had to keep up on all this. Keep studying. A lot of you probably thinking, how in the hell did you keep all that in your head? Well, they had ways of making that stay in your head. Sometimes I'd be at the house and after school and waiting for my parents to come home, and I'd go in there and practice, you know, different things. Practice combat and remember the moves and the dodges and the parries and all that above. But I also kept up on stepping into a wall. Of course, I had to shut all the curtains in the house so no looky-loos seen me back into a wall, become part of the wall, or lay on a mattress and actually melt into the mattress, so to speak. But I kept up on all this stuff. I didn't ever want to be caught supposedly with my drawers down, so to speak. I couldn't stand the fact of losing. So I was going to make damn sure that I was on top of my game. There's several times that come in real handy. But like I said, you had to do this here kind of undercover, you know, in the house and nobody's there and curtains pulled and making things move. The funniest one is, though, I was in the house one day and I was watching through the window. There was this old squirrel that used to come out of the big maple tree. It had a big hole in it, and that old squirrel, he'd go to the neighbor's yard and steal him a walnut. He'd come over and come down that maple tree and sit at the base of it there and crack them damn walnuts and steal the nut out of inside the meat. He'd discard the shell. All the time my job was to go out there and put a glove on him, pick up all that, and throw it out in the driveway. I thought, today, old boy, I've told I got to practice. I'm going to use you for practice. So he's sitting there and he's just tearing that nut up, chewing the outside green layer off that old walnut. Get down to the hard shell. He's chewing away. He gets it cracked open, and I let him get a couple good mouthfuls of that meat in there. He chucked that hull down. I was sitting there staring at that hull, and he turned his back. I made that old hull come up, that hard hull, come up in the air, about 6 foot. I mentally threw that at him, hit him, rolled him out of the surrounding rock formation, right out into the grass, and he jumped up and he was mad as hell. But he couldn't figure out who or what hit him with that damn shell. I was sitting there laughing. Why, he was mad as an old wet hen. And I was still laughing at him. So then he decided to bluff charge that shell that had just hit him. He's there on all fours and he starts bouncing toward it, and that old tail's up and all bushed out. Hairs on his back, standing up, look like Phyllis Diller on a bad night. He's barking at it. And I'm trying to focus without laughing, you know, because in the early stage, you know, I had to concentrate real hard. Now I don't have to do it so hard, and it just comes automatically. But I decided I was going to throw it back at him again. He watched that walnut hull go up in the air, and as it went up, he went from being on all fours up, till he was standing straight up watching that hull. Got about 5 or 6 foot in the air with it. He barked at it a few more times and bluff charged it, you know. But he decided he didn't want to be hit again. By that time he took off, I hit him in the ass with that walnut hoe and rolled him again. He took off running after he got done rolling. He was barking all the way to that damn other maple tree. He going across the damn yard. Just a barking like a crazy fool. I got to laughing. I had tears rolling. My jaws were hurting. Damn near pissed myself. A couple hours later, my dad come home. He said, "So, what have you been doing?" I said, "Having fun." He goes, "Doing what?" I said, "There's a damn old squirrel, that one that leaves them holes out there that I have to go pick up all the time." So I decided Dad was going to get even with that son of a bitch. I watched him come from the neighbors over there, up across the trees, come down the maple tree and come out there and sit on top of them flat rocks. As I watched him chew the hull off of it, he discarded that. Then he got down, chewed the nut, finally cracked it, and got the meat out of there and was eating it. Discarded them damn shells. So I was sitting here in the house, watched him through the window. Using my mind, I picked up that hull, and I hit him with it. Knocked him off them flat rocks in the yard, and he turned around and just barking like a son of a bitch. He was mad as hell. But he didn't know how in the hell it hit him. But he bluff charged a couple times, and I waited a little bit. Hit him with it again. This time he took off running, barking, with his tail up over his back. Daggers, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. He said, you make sure nobody's watching you. I said, I didn't see nobody, but the only thing they would have seen is that squirrel getting hit with that hull with nobody around. I was sitting in the house here watching him. Dad just kind of laughed, and he said, just be careful, you know. We already had people wondering about you. So the next few days passed pretty good, and all of a sudden these guys shows up. They're talking to my mom and dad at the door. Mom and dad asked them to come in. They come with her and they said, so you've been practicing, huh? I said, yeah. The guy said, we need to take you back with us. I said, well, don't you want to see how good I'm doing? They'd like to show them at the projects. We got to get back. So I went out and got the car with them, and we drove. Finally, there wasn't no cars, no houses, and they opened up the portal, and we went through the portal and ended up there at Long Island again. Got up there at Montauk, and they greeted us at the car there as we parked. Two guys greeted us, two scientists, and there's some other people that come out, and they were talking about their new Wonder Boy. That'd be me. So then they decided they should school me in the fine arts of manners. Well, I thought my parents had done that, but not according to them. I had to be able to go into any place and feel at home, sit at any dining table, whether it be at a 5-star restaurant or just a regular choke and puke. I had to be able to fit in, and they're going to make sure of it. What fork to use and when to use it, and what bowl or plate to use at what time to use it, and all that good crap. Hell, just give me a plate, a bowl, or a fork, and knife, and spoon, and I'm good for go. But not according to them. So they taught me that. Later on, they taught me, too, about different types of music. What music for what appropriate cause and where you're at. A lot of the music was pretty good. There was some of it that was annoying as hell, sounded like somebody scratching on a damn chalkboard. Luckily, there wasn't no rap, because I'd have had a shit fit. But I can't stand that shit. But in any case, little things that they figured I had to know in case where they had to send me to. Then they had me still practicing opening and shutting portals and what to do in case you're someplace and a portal opens up, kind of like, in those photos I showed you. I took photos, those creatures in those portals getting ready to come out as soon as it fully formed. What to do, and that's how I knew when I snapped a picture and seen that, I got the hell out of there. 'Cause I'd done been schooled on that. Then they would take me to upstate New York, and they'd have me and somebody they hired or was on their payroll take me out there, and basically we was given maps with coordinates and all that, and if you wanted to eat, you had to be able to get to your next destination. And they had it figured out pretty good. I mean, every day so many miles, and you'd find a couple candy bars and a sandwich. But if you wanted something to drink, you had to go another couple miles. I excelled in that too. Then one time they decided that how to deal with the elements. Well, I don't like the cold. It just tears my ass a new one. Makes my body hurt, joints hurt. I don't like it. Still don't like it today. They started me out with just a hoodie, long johns, pair of pants, no gloves, and a stocking cap. Now this day, the temperature was going to start dropping. By that night, it was going to be down about 30. So I had to go to these different locations that they marked out, locate it, and be able to figure out how to get there to get a pair of gloves that would be left for me. It was just exercises. Well, this guy that was there monitoring everything, he was laughing because I missed the first coordinates by about 10 feet. And I'm looking around, and I mean, it's getting cold. I'm hurting bad. But I was like, fuck this. I opened up a portal in a tree and went in it. Got out of that wind. Boy, did I get my ass chewed. He chewed my ass. So I finally got back on track and found the package, the coat, put it on, and I had to locate 2 other pieces of equipment that I would need to stay warm, including a book of matches with some paper. After those several days, he took me back, and he was bitching up a storm. While they was checking me out, make sure that I was okay, one of the scientists come in. He was like, hey, he overcome adversity. So now we know that if he gets in a plane crash or a vehicle breaks down in the winter sometime, he's not going to sit there and freeze to death. He's going to open up a friggin' portal. So technically, he's smarter than you. So then they asked me, did it work? That's why I'm still here, ain't I? I ain't got pneumonia. They just kind of laughed, and they ushered him out in the hallway and chewed on his ass. But I was learning. And I was, other than the cold, I don't like the cold, but I enjoyed those lessons because it get me outdoors, out there in nature where I belong anyway. So then the next lesson was going to be about how to pick up on these portals and know how to find them. I could feel them. But they wanted to test the accuracy on that, and they had a certain way they wanted me to do it, and I couldn't do it their way. I do it by sound, sight, and feeling it in my body. That's the way they created me. But see, the funny thing is, they had no clue exactly what they created. It was like if you've never used a fork before, and they teach you to use the fork and hold it while you cut the meat with a knife. And then all of a sudden they bring a bowl of soup out. You ever tried to eat soup with a frickin' fork? It's okay until you get down to the last little bit, and you gotta have a spoon. Well, that's the way these assholes were. They created what they thought they wanted, but they didn't realize there was so much more that come in this package. So they were still learning. And used me as the guinea pig to find out what they wanted to know. Wow, we didn't know you could do that. That'll come in handy. It never stopped. They kept testing and having me do this and do that. But in the end, it all, I guess, kind of paid off for me. Eventually, I got away from them. But until then, it was constantly new test, new test, new test. It was never ending. I endured it. Lots of scrapes and pain. Lots of accidents, and a lot of people got hurt. But hey, they considered it all learning, so technically I guess I was their property to an extent. But I learned how to deal with about any situation come along. A lot of this come in handy later in different situations. They even taught me there ain't a vehicle or anything with tracks, wheels, or wings, or propellers that I can't climb in, look at it, and make it go. They taught me that too. Now I'll tell you about flying. Later on in the service, we got into a jam and them fuckers left us. Told us to find our own way home. Well, found a little prop plane, and us guys piled in there, and I got that bastard fired up and was reading the gauges and told them y'all better fasten in. I can get her off the ground. I can fly her. Landing's a bitch. And we'll survive with a little luck. I'd take that plane up. We was heading home. I had no clue until the radio squawked that they was waiting for us at this old abandoned airport. A few miles from there was an old orchard. That plane was running on fumes. All of a sudden, the propeller stopped. Well, you could glide that thing quite a little ways. But when I heard that squawk come over the radio and them bastards was waiting to pick us off, I crashed that son of a bitch right there in the orchard. I told them guys, I said, I hate to tell you, I said, but these wings got to come off this son of a bitch. I said, see that orchard up ahead down there? I'm going to take them wings and chuck them off, and we're just going to slide in like we're a pair of roller skates. We had a few bangs and bruises, but see, I could drive or fly anything. Still this day I can. All because of this teaching. So they knew that whenever I'd talk, they listened. I got their ass out of a lot of jams, and that's why I was sent with them. But, it's all life lessons, I guess. For me. It's nice that I can crawl on a dozer, any tractor, truck, car, you name it. Helicopter, jet, regular plane. And I can figure it out. May not be the best ride, but it'll work in a jam. And along the way, I picked up a lot of other little tricks that I learned to use in my favor. I even got so good that sometimes if I found somebody that was kind of weak-minded, I could even cause them to go do things. I could persuade them, not by talking to them, but just by using my brain. I could overpower their brain, get them to go take a nap, or leave a building. I even done that sometimes to those assholes that were my handlers. Of course, I'd have to pay for it later. But all these things that they had created me to do, and there was so much more that come with it that they had no clue. They were learning along the way, just like I was learning my role in all this that was to come. And I gotta say, though, because they tortured me so many times with water, I didn't much care for the swimming part of it, but I had to learn that too. Of course, later on, going in the service, I spent most of my time in the water. Swam down, I was a damn fish. You try jumping out of a plane 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 30,000 feet, and all you see is something shiny and black below you, and it's the ocean. Because there's a sub down there somewhere that's supposed to come get you, and you're looking around and there ain't no fucking land nowhere. Dude. You talking about a rush of adrenaline? That's a rush. You hit that water wrong, it's like hitting concrete. So, all these lessons and me being pretty fearless played a part. Try going through a portal. I don't really mean that, but I'm just saying, all this stuff they'd been grooming me for later on. Some of it was fun, some of it was painful. But there wasn't no such thing as failure, no matter what it was. I endured it all, and I'm on the other side of all that now, but I still carry the scars and the pain. And I'm still plunking along, hoping they don't never get their hands on me. I know if you watch, like right in here, you're going to see stuff moving around. I know it's there, I see it. I feel it. Don't let it spook you, it's just part of me. It's all good. It's hell being me sometimes. And sometimes it's fun. I wouldn't advise anybody to go through all the shit I went through, because I'm surprised I made it. But I can tell you this much. Magic and all that is all around you. It's just right there. Flowers blooming. To me, that's magic. Trees that bloom. New baby creatures, new baby rabbits, baby geese, baby ducks. Well, we even have some baby cats. 4 of them, to be exact. All different colors. The world is full of magic. It's full of mystery, portals, cryptids, and assholes. Most of them are politicians or they're cops. And there's also some damn good people out there, and there's a far and few in between, kind of like common sense. But it does exist. So anyway, I know there's more people like me. I can't be the only one. Because I know as well as I'm sitting here, they didn't give up on those projects. They just keep splintering them off. I always thought one day they might send another one of me, but the newer model, to come and deep six me. I guess my grandpa used to say, don't never ever cross a bridge in your brain until you get to it. Because you'll worry yourself to death, cause yourself to have a heart attack. I've always lived by those words. So I guess when and if that time ever comes and they send a newer model after me, I'll deal with it then. I've gotten a hell of a lot smarter. I never did stop learning. I watch people. That's a hobby too. Watch people, and you see all kinds of crazy shit, and I learn by watching everybody. Everybody out there that I come within sight of, I learn. Now, just to give you an idea, this is what I'm going to tell you is funny, but it did happen. You think going to the zoo, you can see some funny ass shit there? Dude, Walmart is funnier most times than the fucking zoo. You know, you see in the zoo those monkeys shit in their hand and they throw it. That's just like Walmart. We was in there one day, and my wife was trying to get my attention, and I look over there across the aisle, and there's a woman over there putting stuff in the cart, and I looked, and I was like, what the hell? I turned around the other way, and she's like, hey, look at her, what's she doing? And all of a sudden, my wife noticed. This woman must not have had a bra on, and she's over there, and my wife called them orangutan titties. Looked like goddamn pencils sticking out, and every time she was moving, putting stuff on the shelf for them to check out, they got to moving, and it looked like somebody writing cursive with both pencils. My wife was over there just giggling, and I was trying to keep from laughing and looking. My wife's like, look, orangutan titties. Will you shut the hell up and leave me alone? We gotta walk past her. My wife thought that was funny. I couldn't keep a straight face. I damn near ready to roll. Well, that's just some of the shit you see. And if something funny, I'm gonna damn well laugh. Now, my wife didn't care. She thought it was funny. If that lady would have said something, my wife would have put her in her place. Or put a knot on her head. Somebody got an ass whooping that day, and I'd still been over there laughing. That's kind of shit that you see. I learned from watching everybody. Whether it be somebody goes by. We got people go by here all the time watching me, taking pictures. Hell, I've even seen them go out in this field across the road. Hide behind frickin' bales and watch me. They look like a fucking jack-in-the-box. Whoop, pop their head up. And take a picture. What the hell's wrong with you people? Chicken shit. That's kind of like what it is, life with Henry. Always some asshole looking to take a picture of me, take a video of me. I don't know what the hell they're doing it for. I know I'm still being watched. They must pay those people pretty good. What they ought to do is give me about 25% of the money they pay these assholes to watch and stalk me. I'd be as rich as old Rockefellers. But I think the way I study people, that's probably what they're doing, studying me in the real world. See what I'm out here doing. What did he do today? Walk along, tending to his animals and checking on his flowers. But did he do anything else? Did he make anything move? That's what we've seen. Well, you make sure you're out there tomorrow. You'd think they'd get bored as hell and just go home. But I guess the money's too good. All I got to tell them is, as long as they don't come on the property, they're on some else's land, I can't do nothing about that. They're in the road, I can't do nothing about it. Step foot on my property and see what happens. That'd be funny. Because I ain't scared of shit. You want to stand out there and take pictures and stuff, I can't stop you. Ain't gonna attempt to. Just don't come in my fucking yard fucking with me. It get ugly real quick. My grandkids come here and play sometimes. I'm sometimes out in the yard doing stuff and usually carrying a radio on me, my phone, in case I need to make a call to my wife, turn the dog loose, or to bring me old Betsy. But that's the way I have to survive. I don't want to stay in the house cooped up all the time. I'll be in act like one of them damn monkeys in a cage. I'll be caged up all the time in the house. I'll be shitting my hands throwing out the windows. That wouldn't be right. My wife would get pretty pissed off about that. But I get by the best I can. Try to live as normal as I can. One of these days, old Henry's gonna buy the farm. And I'll get one hell of a good dirt nap. But until then, old Henry's still kicking, and I'm gonna keep telling my story as long as people want to listen. That way, when I'm gone, at least you'll know that I existed, and you'll know what all I kind of went through. Give you some sort of an idea that the world ain't what you think. We're all guppies in the same fucking fishbowl. So we ought to just try to get along as best as possible. I know there's some people you can't get along with. Trust me, I've run across a lot of them bastards too. But for the most part, there is still some decent people out there. But know this, not everybody that you come in contact with is like you. There's people like me, and there's also some shapeshifters, there's witches, there's vampires, real ones. So, the world, like I said, ain't quite what it seems. And all the things in it, including me. But just because we're different don't mean we all can't be fellow human beings, or at least try to be. There's some out there that are real people. They act worse than the damn monkeys at the zoo. They throw shit at their own cage. Then wonder why it stinks. Dumb bastards. I try to find beauty in a little bit of everything. Trees, flowers, sunsets, sunrises. I ain't getting up for that shit. I ain't a morning person. If you see me up in the morning, it's because, one, I either gotta go to the bathroom, or two, my wife knocked me out of bed. Otherwise, I ain't no goddamn morning person. Hell with that shit. I'm a night owl. So, that's just a little more insight to Henry. Now, I'll tell you what, anybody watching this video how would you like to let one of these spirits inside of me come out and tell you a little bit about themselves? I'll tell you what. Here's the challenge. When I get 100 likes on this video, and I see it, I'll make it happen. So if there's any of you out there that's curious, or I can get 100 subscribers, I'll make it happen. And you'll get proof to go along with that. I'll prove you some things that you wouldn't suspect. So when I get 100 views on this channel, on this show, I will announce it. I will post it. As soon as I get 100 views on this here, and I see it, then I'll post the next video. This is what I'll do. Until then, y'all be good to each other. Try not to throw shit at your own cage. See, you know you just got to clean it up. Don't take no wooden nickels. And you all have a good, safe evening, and I'll talk to you on the next one. This is Henry saying good night. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Won't cost you nothing. Just that little finger, move over there and hit that button. Leave me a message. I'll answer any message on there, providing it's a legitimate message and not somebody acting like a damn fool. They act like a damn fool and have my wife flush the toilet on you. Flush you down just like a big old fucking turd. Otherwise, I'll catch you later. Y'all have a good evening.